in an awesome city of the Florida, in San Agustin.
Mm-hmm.
And we were very surprised because of the happiness of the people in the streets. Everybody is vinculated with Christmas, with holidays. But I don't think that the people understand the message. What do you think about?
Well, that is what happens when we make government more and more secular. Not even governments, our society. I believe that government should have its secular way of doing, but I am Catholic, and I'm very proud of my Catholic, my Christian Judeo background, religious background, and I use that as my governing when I make my choices. Unfortunately, our society, let me take a step back. We were founded on the belief that there's one God.
Yeah.
Our money, our currency says, in God we trust.
Mm-hmm.
But we have gone away from that. And I think this is why we see a lot of the problems that we see in our society today. So I think it's important for us, to people to believe in something. Mm-hmm. And for me, I think it's important for me to say Merry Christmas, because that's what I believe in, right? And if you're Jewish and you tell me Happy Hanukkah, I'm okay with that. I think it's okay for us to, be proud of who you are, be proud of your faith, and celebrate your faith as you celebrate it. Don't be scared of it. I think we've gone away from whatever because we're looking to be so secular in nature, that we've gone away from being able to celebrate and be proud of our own faith and who we are as individual peoples under the banner of the United States of America. The United States of America is an amazing country where people have come with different backgrounds, different cultural beliefs, different religions, and we all come together here, and we have to make it work, and we make it work by believing in ourselves and in our own faith. And this is why I'm okay with putting up Christmas trees and menorahs and whatever other celebrating the different holidays, religious holidays that people want to celebrate. I'm perfectly fine with that. I take no offense with it.
That's right. I think that in the same way that we approach to God, life will be better for everybody.
Right.
And peace will be a hard word for everything, something that
Look,
we have to protect.
For most people, most faith, there's one God. We just call him a little differently. We see God a little bit different lights, in different ways. But most religions, I want to say the vast majority of religions across the world, they practice, be good to your neighbor. Don't steal, don't cheat, be a good person, help the sick, help the disabled. Most religions are about that. We fight about the small differences, and we don't realize that we all want the same things. We want to be able to educate our children. We want to be able to be in peace. We want to be able to have food in our place. We want to a shelter over our heads. Yeah. We want governments to work together and collaborate with one another. We want to live in peace. But unfortunately, the extremes get involved, and they make a mockery of the system, and they use their faith as a way to do bad things, to justify what they're doing. And it's not right. I just don't think it's. I think it's right.
I agree with you, because people must be involved with their leaders. So finally, I would like that you. It's a little message about what we are going to expect for the next year, politically, for this country, because everybody is worried about it, and we would like. A message for you, an opinion.
Look, I'm a person that I'm very hopeful. I believe in hope. We started a non-for-profit that's called Hope, helping our people every day, because I believe the last thing you take away from someone is hope. As long as they have hope, they can move mountains. They can have an ounce of hope. And even though that our country has been very polarized, very divided, and I'm seeing things that we haven't seen in a long time, especially now, when we see in our university campuses that they're having pro-Hamas demonstrations. That to me brings a little fear. It scares me a bit that there's certain groups out there that are trying to divide us even more. We saw what happened in Israel recently, the heinous terrorist attacks that happened, and we can't forget that Hamas went in there and they took women and children hostage, and they murdered hundreds of people. And this is Israel's way of defending themselves of a terrorist organization that has been terrorizing not only Israel but terrorizing the rest of the world. And to see in this country where you see, which I'm a big firm believer of the First Amendment, people have the right to speak up and say whatever they want. I believe in the First Amendment, but I also have the right to, when you speak up and you speak up for a terrorist organization or defend a terrorist organization, I too have the right to call you out. I too have the right to not hire those students when they come out. I too have the right to know who you are. Because if you're taking a public position, then I can take a public position. I can know not to do business with you if I don't want to. And that's where I see where the First Amendment is very important, because we can't just pick and choose where the First Amendment applies, because one day they're going to try to shut me up. But you can't expect me to like the things that you're saying, especially when we have children that are still being held hostage and God knows where. So I say all that to tell you that even though that we are this country has been in a very polarized state for quite some time, I'm very hopeful that the future will be positive. Very hopeful that the generations will start coming together and start pushing the political parties together. I'm very hopeful that there's better days to come for our nation and the people of the United States of America, because at the end of the day, if this country is to falter, I am scared to see what happens to the rest of the world.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We appreciate your words.
No, thank
Your
you.
message.
Appreciate you.